Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here once again, back with another NBA advice video for you guys for Fanduel here for September 20th already. Just a couple, about a week and a half or so till Halloween. Kind of crazy that we are at that time already. Anyway, like I said, hopefully you guys won on that nice 9-game slate. If you listen to most of the picks I gave you last night, you guys probably won some pretty good dang money. That Alex Prothethis guy, it's hard to say his name, but anyway, he was $3,500 on power forward, and he went off for I think 30 or so. Joe Ingles went off for 40 plus as well, kind of one of my sneaky plays. So a lot of these guys really did good. Osman went off as well. So Kevin Durant. So yeah, if you use a lot of my guys, went off pretty good, and also that core five was pretty good as well. Willie Cauley sucked, but he was just there as kind of one of the guys I liked. I mentioned Adams or Enes Kanter. Both those guys went off as well. So a lot, like I said, most of my picks went off. If you followed any of the advice, you probably had a pretty good night. So, and it was a good night for us as well. We didn't do too bad, and our subs didn't do too bad either. Finished with a 310, which cashed everywhere, and also had a 265.9, which cashed in small leagues and cashed in all of my 50-50s and stuff like that. And like I said, the 310 cashed everywhere as well. And as you see here, one of our subs 190 on that one. And this was mine. I just played light and 172. So, yeah, not too bad. Like I said, 2 for 2 last night as well. Like I said, 265 didn't cash in tournaments, but it cashed in 50-50s, which, like I said, I count that as a win because I profited, doubled up my money. That's all you can ask for. So, yeah, as normal, would love to have you guys on board. We, like I said, the night before we had one bad night, but since then we've been doing pretty good. Definitely have a winning record. So would love to have you guys join us. We have $50 for the regular season, $350 for $350 for the entire season with playoffs. To get in on that, as normal, just check out our website in the comment section below. And if you have any have any questions or anything like that, hit us up in our Twitter down there below. So that is mostly it. I do want to talk about something though. I mentioned it on opening day, as you guys all know. FanDuel changed their format for FanDuel. As you know, they dropped the ninth man, lowest score drop. And as I told you, I wasn't happy with it. I'm still not a fan of it, and a lot of people aren't either happy with it, and it's showing. I don't know if you've seen the last couple days, but these tournaments have shrunk dramatically. FanDuel is losing a ton of money on NBA. Yes, they're making it back with NFL and all that, but this, like I said, this ninth man drop is really hurting them. Bad. I'm going to go look up a couple contests. Like I said, you can go into the lobby and check NBA. The tournaments are just terrible right now just because they're losing so many people here. So anyway, they have let me go find it here. I'll just be a second. The monster is the 333, the 444. Usually it's around 5, 6, 700, even 1,000 people. Just depends on how big it is. Tomorrow there's only 250, so that really dropped dramatically. The 40, they usually have a 44 or a 55 with around 10,000 people in it. There's 5,000 today. Even some of these other ones, the $15 one, a lot of these just shrunk. So it shows you they're hurting. They're hurting bad. This new format they did completely ruined them. I don't know why they can't bring back the old format, or at least keep this format and give us a choice to play the old format. They do that sometimes. If as you see on the left, you can have the full game, or you can play like a single game slate. You can pick. That's what they should do for this. They should let you have the normal, ninth man drop and then bring back the old format. I don't know. Like I said, they're losing customers right now doing this new format they're doing. So hopefully they figure out, they're losing money and turn it back to the old way. So yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention. Hopefully they fix it soon because this ninth man thing is just stupid. I hate it, but still making money off it. So that was my little rant. Hopefully you guys are okay with it. Most of you guys agree. I was reading your guys' comments. Most of you guys agree with my statement. Bring back the original. So yeah, like I said, that is it. My little rant is all done. Just wanted to prove a point. I'm just a small majority, but still wanted to prove my point. So yeah, we got a good 10-game slate here. Usually not big on a Saturday, but looking pretty good. And man, these totals are monstrous. Anyway, let's go get into it. We got a 212 Brooklyn, Indiana. Indiana by 8. Toronto, Washington 217 total. Toronto by 1. Boston, New York 211. Boston by 9. Orlando, Philly 217. Philly by 12. Detroit, Chicago 215. Detroit by 3. Charlotte, Miami 217. Miami by 4. Minnesota and Dallas at 218. Minnesota by 3. Phoenix and Denver 224. Denver by 10. San Antonio, Portland 214, and Portland by 4, and Houston and LA at 235, and Houston by 3. So most of these teams are playing back-to-back here, so I don't think it's going to affect it too much here in the beginning of the year. I think they should be fine, so I'm not too worried about it. So, yeah, let's get into it. Our first game is Brooklyn and Indiana. As I mentioned, we have a 212 total in Indiana by 8. I personally don't think they're going to win by 8. I think Brooklyn can keep up with them. Indiana's not playing too great right now. So you can look at D'Angelo Russell. I don't think he has a lot of upside. His floor, I think, is decent. He's probably going to get you 28 to 30. So if you're just looking for a cash game play, I think he's an all right option. Shooting guard, you could pick Oladipo. He's been up and down. I picked him last night. He's just been trash, but who knows? He might break out in this game. In a little bit easier game, but it's only a 212 total, so I don't know how much you really need Oladipo. But if he does go off, not many people are going to have him. I love Karis LeVert once again. He's in a good spot. If you just really need to punt your position at 3,800, Jared Dudley, yes, I know that's a terrible, terrible name. Anyway, he's not going to do a lot, but look at this. This dude's playing pretty good minutes, and he's starting. He doesn't do a lot, but he gets you 18 to 20. That's all you really need for $3,800. You're going to need a lot of cheap dudes tonight because there's so many expensive guys out there. So he's a thought. Sabonis, I told you guys I liked him last night. He had a pretty solid game once again. 30 points, that's solid, 5,800. I'll put him in there. Doesn't play big minutes, but 32 to 30 at 58. I will take that. Once he gets up to the 6,000 range, I'm not taking him at all. All right, moving on. Sorry about that. Jared Allen, I love this dude. Still only $6,800. Playing big minutes. Double-double last night, double-double against Detroit a couple days ago. 39-38. That's still really cheap at $6,800, so I love some Jared Allen. So this one, I'm looking at Jared Allen. I am looking at Sabonis. I am looking at Jared Dudley as a cheap GPP punt. He's not going to get me a lot, not a high ceiling at all. And then Karis LeVert is who I'm looking at. And then, like I said, you can look at Russell and Oladipo, but not really on my radar. All right, moving on. Toronto and Washington. Surprisingly, this one's a pretty high total, 217, and Toronto only by 1. So Toronto back-to-back for them, but they looked pretty good last night. DeLon Wright, I think, is still going to be out, and I did mention Fred VanVleet yesterday, and I did put him in there, and he looked pretty good. He looked really good out there. So I do like some Fred VanVleet once again at only $4,500. I think he can get you 24 to 25 once again. One of my favorite point guards on the slate is John Wall. I personally think he can score just as much or even more than LeBron James at around, a $1,200 or $1,500 discount. This dude's at home. I think he's trying to prove a point this year. Another really good team in Toronto. Like I said, that total is relatively high. I love Wall. I really do. I think he can get you 50 to 60 in this one. Lowry's not bad, but John Wall should eat him up. If you need another cheap guy, this guy, he's GPP only for me because he's a boomer bust. But Danny Green, he's had a good start, 29 and 29, 32 minutes each. Maybe I'm just scared because every time he was with Popovich, he just sucked. Who knows? Maybe he's changing it around a little bit. Not the best matchup for him, but still, you can put him in there if you need it. Don't mind Super Kawhi Leonard, again, if you want to put him in there. Ibaka, he's looking half decent, been getting around 30 points. So he's only 5,700, so you can look at him. And that's probably it from that one. So really, really like some John Wall, Fred VanVleet, love both of those guys. And that's probably it for my loves. You can, like I said, you can look at Leonard, you can look at Beal, you can look at Green, but these two here, these are the two that I'm really looking at, Wall and Fred VanVleet. All right, moving on, we got Orlando and Philly. We have a 217 and Philadelphia by 12. So this should be a blowout. I know the other night, they were supposed to blow out Chicago. They did at the very end. I don't think Orlando has the firepower like Chicago. Chicago, not a good team, but they're young and hungry. Orlando is a little bit older. So I think Philly will just straight annihilate these dudes. And I think they'll get up early, probably at least a 15, 20-point lead in the fourth. Who knows? So that leads me to try and find some cheap guys off the bench that are going to get some minutes. So all these starters for both teams, I don't care for at all. One guy I'm looking at here is Landry Shamet. I don't know how to say his name. Anyway, $3,700 last game against Chicago, which was a blowout, as I said, in the fourth quarter, which he played a lot in. He scored 27 fantasy points. I love this dude. I think he's in a very good spot, very low ownership. Like I said, if this game is close for some reason, he's not going to play. He's only going to play big minutes if it's a blowout. So, like I said, if you think it's going to be a blowout, put this guy in there. No one's going to have him. Even if he only gets you, like I said, 10 or 12, lowest score drop. So even if he sucks on you, you don't have to worry about it. But I think this guy can get you anywhere from 20 to 24 points here tonight. And I don't think a lot of people will have him. So only playing him if I believe it's a blowout, and I do think it will be. Besides that, I don't really care for that one there. All right, moving on. We got Boston and New York. We have a 2-11 total and Boston by 9 in this one. Another one of those kind of games. Going to be a little bit slower pace. New York, they're kind of up and down right now. Don't have really a point guard or a 2 point guards. They're just not playing well together. Trying to see if I like anybody in this game. Honestly, no. I would absolutely play nobody from this game. You can look at Enes Kanter, but I see nobody. I see absolutely no one that I would suggest to you guys. So I'm not playing this one at all. Sorry I skipped over that one, but I just don't care for that game. You can look at Kanter, but I don't know if you really need him or not. He's still going to do half decent, but that's really it. Not really into that game. Moving on to Detroit and Chicago. We have a 215 in Detroit by 3. So this is kind of one of the games I kind of like here. Dunn is going to be out again, so you can look at a really GPP play. Ryan, I'm not even going to say his last name, Ryan. We're going to call him Ryan here. Anyway, filling in for filling in for Dunn. Payne, he just sucked. He didn't do good. He had 24.8. So maybe he plays once again half-decent minutes. I'd probably pick that Shamet guy for Philly over him, but you can also look at him just for consideration. Shooting guard, Antonio Blakely, I think that's how you say his name. One other guy that's kind of filling in for Dunn, 30 minutes. That's pretty big minutes there. He's not going to get you crazy amount of points, but the dude played 30 minutes. So anywhere 25, 30 minutes, the more, obviously the more minutes you play, the more opportunities you have. So a cheap little punt option as well for $3,600. Zach LaVine, I don't mind him. Dunn is out, so he's going to have obviously a lot more shots to look at. Power forward, I love Griffin. I love Portis. I really love both. They're both in tremendous spots tonight. And I love Andre Drummond. I usually don't like picking him, but Detroit just sucks so bad. He should easily get you another 45, 50, even 55 in this one. So I'm looking at Drummond, Griffin, and Portis, and then Antonio Blakely as a cheap punt option, and Zach LaVine, and also this Ryan guy. If you really need him, like I said, I'd rather consider the other guy. But, yeah, that's going to be a good game. I'm going to be targeting probably 3 or 4 in this one. I like that one quite a bit. All right, moving on. Our next game we have is Charlotte and Miami. 217 and Miami by 4. So right away, I don't mind some Dragic. Not too afraid of Walker's defense. Plus, I think Dragic has to step up here. $6,700, probably going to get you 32 to 35 in this one. Had a little bit of a down game against Washington, but as I said, Wall is like a top 3 defensive player in the league. So he still did half decent against them. So, yeah, 32 to 35 for Dragic. At home, I do like him quite a bit. And then Wayne Ellington doesn't look like he's going to play again. So if he's not, I don't know why his price didn't move up. But Rodney McGruder, I think he will be a little bit more popular just because of how he was last game. Yeah, shoot, why not put him in there again? I don't think he'll get you 39, but anywhere from 20 to 25 at bare minimum price, you got to put that dude in there. I love Rodney McGruder tonight. So, and another guy you can look at, no one's going to have him. McGruder will take up the ownership. But Dwayne Wade, he's a solid half-decent playing half-decent minutes, kind of being an all-around player here. 21 and then jumped up to 27. So he can get you 25 to 27 in this one at very low ownership. You can also, like I said, look at Dwayne Wade. Since they're hurting, they don't have many players available. Looks like Winslow's not going to play again, and it looks like Josh Richardson's another very good spot. Only 7,100. This dude is unreal right now. Way too cheap. He's a lock for me. I love Mr. Josh Richardson. If you want to punt with Derrick Jones, some people like him. That's up to you. He doesn't play big minutes, but he starts. You can look at Whiteside, but that's kind of up to you guys. I'm not really high on him. So anyway, yeah, Josh Richardson, a lock for me. Really like Rodney McGruder, Dwayne Wade in a GPP one-off, and then don't mind some Goran Dragic. So, yeah, I really don't mind this one. I love when Miami is down on players because it makes me want to play them a little bit more. All right, moving on. Minnesota and Dallas in this one. 218 in Minnesota by 3. So, man, did they come out firing last night. Jimmy Butler just went ham sandwich. He was just crazy. Yeah, he did very good. So, anyway, you can look at Smith and J.J. Barea, but probably not going to be in my final lineup. Shooting guard, you can go Jimmy Butler once again. I think he can get you 45-50 in this one. I don't think his ownership will be high because of that late game, but you can definitely look at him. Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe put him in there. He's 5,000 though, so I don't know if you really need him. But Barnes probably not going to play, so Smith might get you 25 points in this one. Power forward, don't really care for it. Dwight Powell had 28, but he was in very, very limited minutes. So I don't know. He, coming back from injury, he might play 20, 22 tonight. As I mentioned, Gibson sucks defensively. So Dwight Powell could be an interesting, cheap option here. He's one of those fantasy hogs per minute. He does very good. Like I said, he had a knee injury. He only played 17 minutes, but he was very aggressive in those minutes. So if he gets you 20 to 25 in this one, maybe they bump him up a little bit. I don't mind him. Only thing about Powell that really sucks is he gets in foul trouble very quick. So that's the thing you got to worry about with him. And I'm not really into any of those guys over there. So, yeah, if I had the pick, you can look at Butler. You can look at Finney-Smith. You can look at Powell. But for the most part, not really picking on this game. All right, moving on. Phoenix and Denver. So this one's interesting. We got a 224 high total, but Denver's supposed to beat them by 10. We'll see. Phoenix looked pretty good that first game. This could be a little bit closer than we expect, which makes me like it a little more. I think it could be a little bit closer, and since that spread is so big, that's going to some of the public is not going to like that game because it's going to be a blowout. I don't know, man. I think Phoenix can keep up with them for the most part in this one. So I think that drives the ownership down since the spread is so high. But shoot, Murray, Harris, and Will Barton, I think you guys can look at them for sure. If this game gets into a blowout, well, yeah, then you're screwed. But, if you want to take a shot and you think this game stays close, who knows? Maybe put them in there. Like I said, both these teams are very fast-paced teams. And like I said, Phoenix looked very good the other night. So who knows? Maybe put them in there. You can look at Booker as well. And obviously you can consider Jokic in this one. Ayton, he's gonna play, but he's gonna be a little fragile, so that might maybe help out Jokic a little bit. So this game's totally up to you guys. If you want to put them in there, if you think this game's gonna stay close, that's totally up to you. So I'm still kind of on the edge of this one. I need to see where that spread goes throughout the day. All right, moving on. San Antonio and Portland, 214 in Portland by 4. So I don't know if you guys remember last year, but I told you, and I'll tell you again, every time LaMarcus Aldridge goes to Portland, this dude destroys. Easily going to get you 45 to 50 in this one. He might even get you more just because he's, mostly the leader of this team now. Obviously, you got DeRozan, but I love Aldridge. He loves playing in Portland. If you guys don't know, that's where he played for most of his career. So he loves going to Portland and putting on a show for the fans. They all love him there. So Aldridge should put up a good game, and I don't think he'll be relatively high owned. I still think he'll be about 20%, maybe 15, depending on where you play. But I love Aldridge. His price is up there, but I think he's in a very good spot in this one. That's probably it I'm looking at. I'm not really – I probably don't like anyone else. You can look at Brian Forbes if you want to. Portland is a pretty good defensive team, though. He still played 30 minutes, so you can always consider him if you don't want to take a shot with a guy from Philadelphia. This guy at least is going to get you 30 minutes. So that's up to you. That's really all I'm looking at. So Aldridge, and then maybe this Forbes in a one-off, but that is mostly it. All right, this is going to be just anyway, crazy one. 235 in Houston by 3. So Houston defense is trash. Last year they were half decent, but this year they're terrible. I mean, they're bad. Just downright pathetic. Anyway, we got Rondo. I love him. He'll be 50, 60% owned in this one, which kind of sucks, but he's in a good spot. Yes, I know he's up against Chris Paul, but Rondo's not really a scorer. He's more as an assist guy. So should get you a double-double in this one, probably 4 or 5 free throws and stuff like that. He'll get there. So I don't mind him. Price hasn't caught up to him yet. Really like James Harden. Obviously, if you can get to him, get to him. Josh Hart looked really good off the bench. He did have 39. He might get 25 in this one, but still in a very good spot against a Houston team that just sucks. Small forward, obviously, if you want LeBron, you can get him. I'd rather have Harden. Yes, I know LeBron's back, in LA. It's going to be his first game. He's going to light it up, which he might. He might, but if for some reason he only gets 46 again, you could totally, get a little bit lower ownership with Wall or Harden. Harden will still be popular, but you could always go John Wall. But if you're playing cash game, put in LeBron. I mean, you're just going to have to do it. Power forward, we have Ingram. Yeah, I really don't mind him. I think he's in another very good spot. PJ Tucker, I love him. Houston is not – they don't really have any power forwards or centers in, playing. Chris is out. This Zoe Koi guy, he's out. He doesn't really play. Nene probably won't play here. So, yeah, I like Tucker. He did pretty good that first game, so I think you could put him in there once again. Tucker and Ingram. I really like PJ Tucker here. And then really don't mind some Clint Capella. If you want to go JaVale McGee, that's up to you guys. Yeah, he's cheap. He's going to get some exposure. But he is facing a very good defensive player. But obviously Randall, Nikola Mirotic, and Anthony Davis had no problem with him. So who knows? We'll see. That's up to you guys. But either way, most of these guys are in play here tonight. So I'm going to try and give you guys some, 5 guys that I like again. I've been doing that the last couple of nights, and they have been hitting pretty well. So I'm going to go – let me see here. I really love Wall. I really do like him. I'm going to go him. I'm going to go Aldridge. Then you got to go a little cheap here. If you don't want to go Aldridge, you can totally go Griffin. I am totally fine with that if you don't have the money for him. I can't even spell Bobby. What's going on? Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong game. Ha. All right, so we got Bobby Portis there. There's 3 guys. Shooting guard. See what else we got. 5,800. Maybe give you some cheaper guys I'm liking. Like I said, I like Levert. I like Levine. I'm going to go cheap here with Rodney McGruder since you need someone cheap. And I think he's in a pretty good spot at $3,500. And then maybe a small forward. Like I said, if you can get LeBron, get him in there. I'm going to go Josh Richardson here. So, those are kind of guys I'm looking at. You might be able to get one more guy in there that's relatively expensive. But, I mean, I already got most of my big boys in here. So, it's going to be hard to get LeBron in there and in your lineup looking nice. So, if you can get him, like I say, get him in there. But I really do like Wall. Point guard position is not the craziest tonight. I love shooting guard with Rodney McGruder. He's cheap. Josh Richardson, his usage is just insane. You have to put him in there. Aldridge or Griffin, that is up to you. I like Aldridge just because he's in Portland. Griffin has a very good matchup as well. So, like I said, if you don't have the money for Aldridge, you can spin down to Griffin. Totally don't mind that. And then I really love some Bobby Portis as well. So yeah, this should be a good slate. Really looking forward to it. It's a little challenging trying to, put in some of these expensive guys with some cheap guys, but it should be a good one. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you plug in those 5 guys, like I said, Griffin or Aldridge, you should do pretty good here tonight. So that is it, guys. As normal, it was a good night for us last night at 310 and a 265 cash and 50-50s, and the 310 cash in everything. So, we'd love to have you guys on board. $50 a month, $350 for the season, including playoffs. To get in on that, obviously check out our website down there in the comment section. If you have any questions or anything about signing up, let us know with our Twitter down there as well. So that is it. As normal, if you like the video, please leave a like. I do appreciate it. Like I said, all your support, definitely do appreciate your guys' support. So, if you have any questions or anything, comments, put them on YouTube, and, I'll hopefully respond to you guys if I'm not too busy. So, like I said, that is it. Really good slate today. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys a little bit later.